was frightfully unpopular in middle school. But I mean, it's middle school, even like the bullies look back at the time, they're like, that was just terrible. But since I wasn't popular amongst people in my age group, I decided to seek out other friends. So I started doing community theater. And the first couple productions I was in, I was like 11 and I was hanging around 30-somethings and older people, and I got along with them. So I was like, oh, well, it's not me, it's my peer group. Because everyone else is fine with me. And then like the third show I did was Oliver, exclamation point, based on the hit novel Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. And it gave us the song that's the basis for this. So I'm not even going to talk about food, I'm just going to talk about musical theater. So ha. And that had a bunch of other kids my age, and I got along with them fine. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just people in my school. And it was up at Huntington Playhouse over on the far west side of Cleveland, up by the lake. And we had our premiere night, our little opening preview nights where you have your friends and family come and tickets are free because you're not really going live yet. It's what some people call a soft opening. But I hate the term soft opening because it sounds a little gross. So I invited my friend Mike. He was tall, he was awkward, he was also unpopular. And after the show, we're down in the green room. Now this is it's an old theater, and the green room is sort of in a basement, and there's a staircase that comes up from the basement into like a little opening out back where it's all cement. It's not dark, it's dark, it's not well lit. So I was down, I was just changing out of my costume, I was down in the basement in the green room, and there's like a little reception afterwards. So I had like a cup, it was like a little red Solo cup, because they had punch or something. And I was down there, and I saw a spider, because spiders hang out in basements. And I was like, I'm gonna freak out Mike. I will offer him punch, but I will have a spider in his cup. Because I was a bastard. So I got it in the cup, it's a skill that I didn't have a lot of practice with, but I did pretty well. And I'm running up the stairs, and it goes out the back. Now the door opens, and then you have to come to the side, and it closes, and the stairs are behind where the door opens to. It's not well planned, and there's no railing. But I was so excited about the spider in the cup that when the door opened, I just went out, I dropped about 3 feet right on my knee. I sprawl out, and I do the first thing anyone does when that happens. I'm a little in shock, but I want recognition for the pain I'm in, so I'm screaming, ah! I look around, I realize no one can hear me. So I go over to like the rehearsal space inside, like I can see the doors open with the light on, and I'm like, okay, I'll go in there. There's gotta be someone in there, so I'm coming, and I get closer to the light. I look down on my knee, which I landed on, and I can see my kneecap. I cut it pretty bad. Also, I noticed that my kneecap is white, and my science teacher had not been lying to me all these years. And actually, your bones are white. I've never seen a bone of mine before. So at this point, I'm not fake screaming. I'm sort of like, ah! So I go find my mom, who's in the lobby on a payphone, which is a thing that used to exist. And she's talking to my dad, who couldn't make it to the soft opening. And she just says, oh God, Jerry, I could see Tom's kneecap, I gotta go. Click. My poor dad at home is probably just... I found out what happened later on in the night, so they call an ambulance comes up to the theater, and they're pushing me inside, and I haven't been to a hospital since I was born, and I don't remember that, so I'm kind of scared. And they're loading me in the back of the ambulance, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh no, I should have brought a book because I'm going to be there overnight, because I don't know how hospitals work. And there's a guy watching me get pulled in. He's like, he's maybe like 17, 18, and he's like, don't worry, dude, I once had to get stitches, and I'm fine. And he points at his head, which gives me like no sense of calm. So they wheel me off, and then like to try to cheer me up, the paramedic in the back is saying like, look, we just went through another red light. And I'm like, yay. So they take me in, and they have to stitch up multiple layers because I've torn my patellic sac, which is this membrane that holds your synovial fluid in on your kneecap. And then they have to do like the outside layers too. And it's It's a process, and it's swollen, it's disgusting. And the thing is that it's so hurt that I can't walk like a normal person because to move my leg forward puts all this stress on tendons. So I can only walk like this, right? So I need to drag my leg behind me. And the director's like, well, we can't have you on stage because the Charles Dickens story with the lame kid is A Christmas Carol. It's not Oliver Twist. So for the first 2 weekends, I was up in the light booth, which is fun. I got to learn how to use a spotlight, and the guy who was running lights, his name was John, and I got to hang out with him, and he was a 5-time Jeopardy champ. So you don't get to meet them too often. Now this was during the summer, so between those 2 weekends we went on a family vacation down to Kings Island, which is an amusement park that has an Eiffel Tower in it. And while the signs normally say you must be this tall to ride, they never mention that your knee must be able to bend this much to ride. So I'd wait in line to get on the roller coaster, and then I'd try to get in and I'd be like, can I just hang it out the side? And you can't. So that was crappy. But if you ever want to learn how to operate a spotlight, I guess step 1 is look at your kneecap.